Good evening. My name is Jerell Brown. I'm a 31-year-old Washington, D.C. native. I grew up in D.C., Northeast to be exact. And I just want to thank everyone that put this thing together. It's a very powerful movement of the people. And I think that's more important than anything at this time. One thing I would like to say is, as I stated before, I'm a 31-year-old male from D.C., but more importantly, I'm a father. I'm a son and a business owner. So I started a company back in 2012 called SML Services. But before then, my life was a little bit different. So my background was I used to sell drugs. That's how I made money, and that's how I thought life was supposed to be at the time. It wasn't until a fateful day, October 31st, I believe, 2012, when I was arrested and actually sentenced and charged for a gun. I actually had a gun charge, which was expunged back in 2015. But as a person who used to carry a gun on a regular basis, one thing I would say is not everybody with a gun is totally sinister or they totally seek out to harm people. In my case, it was for protection. But at the end of the day, I think it's a bigger problem at play here, and I want everybody to kind of realize and focus on the fact that the whole reason why I picked up a gun in the first place was because I lacked the financial literacy and the emotional intelligence that it takes to just be an adult in this world. You know, coming from a teen to an adult, I realized a couple things is that I knew nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think the more people take that role and realize they know nothing and be more open to the facts of learning new things, new skills, new capabilities, that we'll all get to a better place. What led me into this whole thing as far as the actually getting on the mission and the movement to reducing gun violence, actually through the landscaping company, I hired a youth. So two of my employees that got into it one day, and the mention of gun violence came up in the conversation. Now, I didn't take them seriously at the moment, but I had to think back on my teen years to where as though, I think we should do something about this. So I stopped the workday completely that day, and the only thing I thought of right off the top of my head to make sense was to get some boxing gloves. Something that's gotten away from our youth and adults at that point is having the ability to work out their problems before someone picks up a gun. You know what I mean? So one thing that I did, I got some boxing gloves, some headgear, let them go a couple of rounds. After they went these couple of rounds, they had a whole new different outlook on one another, but also life at the end of the day, I believe. The arguing stopped. We were able to go back to work and get things done, and that was powerful. So after I saw that, I wanted to bring that to more people. I wanted to see if this solution, to where as though we can have an alternative solution to gun violence, will work. So after that, we created an event called Guns Down, Gloves Up. And in that event, we taught financial literacy, we had resume building, we had different community figures come out and speak on the panel about positivity, education, and what it means to get ahead as adults. So that was back in 2019 at Bald Eagle Rec in Southwest DC. Since then, we've done another event after that as well, and it's called Guns Down, Hands Up. And we've done that. We did that at WEG Studios, the OBT Studios in DC, where we actually bought out 800 plus people, and we kept that same theme going of the alternative solution. So we had 14 different boxing matches from kids ranging from the ages of 5 all the way up to 19. And these kids were able to let out their frustrations in a different way. But also they were able to learn about real estate, financial literacy, and emotional intelligence. We did a role play scenario to where as though it was a violence intervention role play, where we had people that actually committed violent crimes and the mothers of people who had violent crimes committed against them to face off on stage together. And what we saw with that was healing, and which is something I think our people need the most. So from these events, I've launched a nonprofit called That's the Plug Inc., where we serve underserved members of the community through programs such as, like I mentioned, the Guns Down, Hands Up. At the end of the day, it's no one simple fix to gun violence, but I think what we all have to realize is it starts with the youth. So our mission is to get to them before they even get to a point to where they get locked up for a gun, or they get locked up for shooting somebody, or they actually murder somebody. They have to deal with the thing that goes on with that, which is your conscience is going either way at you. But we're preventative, and that's our mission, and that's what it's going to be. I appreciate you guys for this time, this platform, and I hope we all stick together in this fight to become better people at the end of the day, because nothing else matters. Thank you.